Hi, welcome to Finslow Podcast. Today we're embarking on a truly fascinating deep dive into something, well, incredibly intriguing. The subtle, often really non-obvious signs that someone is genuinely wealthy. Now, just for a moment, let's challenge our automatic perceptions. When you close your eyes and picture a rich person, what flashes into your mind? Is it the dazzling, flashy cars, the latest designer labels plastered everywhere, the extravagant displays you see paraded all over social media or, dramatized in movies? Most of us, myself included, have this very specific, almost theatrical, mental image of extreme opulence. But what if that familiar image is largely a misconception? What if we told you that the reality of true affluence is often far more subtle, even counterintuitive? The truly rich, the genuinely wealthy, often move through the world completely unnoticed. You can easily walk past them on the street, see them dressed simply, perhaps even casually, and have absolutely no idea that they're worth significantly more than many of the celebrities we see daily. Our mission today is to go far beyond those surface-level perceptions. We're going to uncover the hidden markers of true affluence, drawing on a collection of insights that deeply challenge our conventional thinking and reveal a world hiding in plain sight.
And it's absolutely crucial to understand as we set off on this exploration that there are essentially two distinct worlds of wealth, each with its own defining characteristics. We commonly refer to them as new money and matured money.
Okay, new money versus matured money.
Exactly. Think of new money as individuals who have recently experienced a significant financial windfall. Perhaps they've sold a startup, won the lottery, or had a sudden surge in their career. Their wealth is fresh, and often so is their approach to it.
Right, so maybe a bit more visible.
Very visible, often. They tend to splurge, they can be loud about their newfound status, and often display a look-at-me mentality, subconsciously seeking external validation for their changed circumstances. It's often almost a performative act of being wealthy.
I see.
However, that visible, often ostentatious display tells only a very small part of the story. In reality, the vast majority of the rich population, certainly the most enduringly wealthy, falls into what we call matured money.
Matured money.
All right. These are individuals who have either inherited their wealth, often from generations of careful management and strategic growth, or they are profoundly self-made, having built their fortunes through immense discipline, relentless hard work, and a very strategic long-term approach to finance.
So a completely different foundation.
A completely different foundation and a different mindset. The fundamental difference here is profound. These individuals don't need to announce their wealth. It's not something they feel compelled to prove or display.
They don't need the validation.
Precisely. Their affluence is an intrinsic part of their being, woven into their lifestyle, their choices, and their priorities, rather than being a statement they wear on their sleeve. The insights we're about to explore will focus heavily on these subtle signals, helping you develop an eye for true wealth, allowing you to spot it hiding in plain sight. It means you might very well be in the same room with someone incredibly wealthy and have absolutely no idea how much they're actually worth.
That distinction between new money and matured money truly sets the stage for a different kind of observation. It's about seeing beyond the obvious. Okay, let's unpack this and dive into the first set of remarkable observations. Let's focus on how true wealth manifests in personal presentation far beyond just the bling we might expect. Our first sign dives into what we call the healthy glow of affluence, particularly evident in their teeth, hair, posture, and skin. What's truly fascinating here is that true wealth often manifests in an impeccable, healthy, and profoundly natural physical presentation, rather than overtly obvious cosmetic alterations designed solely to stand out or impress.
It's not about artifice. It's about a fundamental, well-maintained state of well-being that radiates from within. You've hit on a critical point.
So, where do they start? Teeth.
Teeth are huge, yes. One of the very first things truly wealthy individuals prioritize is the health and appearance of their teeth. But crucially, this isn't about expensive diamond grills or any kind of flashy dental work.
Right, not showing off.
No. Instead, it's about ensuring their teeth are consistently clean, genuinely white, and presentable in a way that is natural and does not, importantly, distract from the conversation. Surprisingly, for many in these circles, poor dental hygiene or neglected teeth can be seen as a significant red flag, implying a lack of self-care or attention to detail.
Interesting. What about hair?
Moving to hair, for women, you'll typically notice professionally washed and colored hair, meticulously maintained with absolutely no roots showing. You won't often see stark, unnatural contrasts, for instance, very dark eyebrows paired with extremely blonde hair, which can sometimes signal an effort to dramatically alter one's appearance rather than simply enhance it.
Okay, so aiming for polish but natural.
Exactly. For men, of course, proper grooming, a sharp haircut, and well-kept facial hair are consistently observed. And speaking of facial features, eyebrows are another subtle yet significant giveaway.
Eyebrows.
Yes. They are almost always impeccably groomed, but crafted to look entirely natural, a stark contrast to the overly tattooed or artificially thin, sort of worm-like lines that can sometimes be seen in an attempt to mimic trends.
Right, I know what you mean.
The ability to afford and maintain this kind of natural-looking perfection, where it's clear professional attention has been paid without it screaming procedure, is a very telling detail. Their skin also tends to be healthy and radiant. They invest in addressing minor imperfections, which speaks to a lifestyle that prioritizes wellness, access to high-quality dermatological care, and consistent self-maintenance. It's an ongoing investment.
So it's a whole package of subtle care.
It is. Even their fingernails will be perfect, simple, and subtly manicured, avoiding the overly elaborate, brightly colored, or jewel designs that might be described as Christmas tree decorations. This entire approach isn't born purely out of vanity. It's about presenting a cultivated, confident, and refined image that doesn't overtly demand attention. It's an investment in self-maintenance that projects stability, meticulous care, and a quiet self-assurance.
It's fascinating, isn't it? When you consider this, what does this tell you about where truly wealthy people strategically invest their time and resources? It seems to be deeply rooted in their fundamental well-being and a very natural, understated presentation. Rather than merely superficial adornments, it's about achieving that elusive look of being effortlessly put together. Okay, moving on to our second observation, and this is where many people's assumptions about wealth get, well, really challenged. Their clothes and shoes are bespoke, not plastered with overt brand names. Here, the old adage truly rings true. Money talks, but genuine wealth, in its truest form, whispers.
This point consistently surprises people, yes, because their immediate mental image of a rich person is often someone covered head to toe in obvious luxury logos like Gucci or other loud, visibly branded items. But you'd largely be mistaken.
So not the big logos everywhere.
Generally, no. In fact, many of these highly visible brands often strategically target younger demographics or those who are aspiring to look rich rather than those who genuinely are.
Okay. That makes sense.
An interesting and notable exception to this, and one that has maintained its allure and appeal to the truly established wealthy, is Hermes, which is renowned for its timeless quality and discreet elegance.
Right, Hermes has that different reputation.
It does. But generally, the guiding philosophy among high net worth individuals is crystal clear. Money talks, wealth whispers. Their focus isn't on the fleeting trend or the loudest logo.
It's about something else.
It's on the profound lifetime value of a purchase, the unparalleled quality of the materials used, and timeless designs that transcend seasons and fads. It's about investing in enduring elegance over ephemeral trends.
Oh, quality and longevity.
Exactly. It's quite common for almost everyone who is genuinely wealthy to have a personal tailor. This isn't just for men, for suits. Women also frequently have their clothes expertly adjusted, altered, or even entirely custom-made to ensure an absolutely flawless, individualized fit.
The perfect fit matters more than the brand name.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And a significant yet remarkably subtle hint lies in the quality of their shoes. High-quality footwear, well-maintained, often handcrafted and built to last, is a big, often unconscious indicator of someone's true financial standing and their appreciation for craftsmanship.
Shoes. Okay, I'll look out for that.
This preference reflects a deeper, more sophisticated understanding of value, a preference for durability, unparalleled comfort, and classic style over overt brand visibility. It's about a deep appreciation for comfort, precision fit, and an elegance that doesn't need to shout for attention.
So the next time you're observing someone, consider looking beyond the easily identifiable logo. Instead, shift your focus to the exquisite cut, the luxurious fabric, the way a garment truly drapes on their body. What subtle, refined signals are you picking up when you prioritize quality and an impeccable fit over a flashy, obvious statement? It's a completely different language of fashion. Our third point delves even deeper into personal presentation, focusing on proper accessories for the occasion. What we're calling the art of truly fitting in. This particular observation reveals that truly wealthy individuals consistently demonstrate a nuanced and sophisticated understanding of social context through their meticulously appropriate and well-chosen accessories for every conceivable occasion.
Hmm. This insight speaks volumes about situational awareness and an almost meticulous attention to detail. It's not just about owning expensive things, but possessing precisely the right things for the right moment.
Which shows more than just money.
Exactly. It showcases both financial capacity and social acumen. For instance, if they are engaging in any sporting activity, they will invariably have the proper specialized attire. The correct shorts and racket for tennis, appropriate high-performance gym clothes for a workout, and the perfect running shoes designed for their specific activity.
They look like they belong there.
Precisely. They exude a sense of belonging as if they were born to be in that specific setting. This meticulous attention to detail extends far beyond just clothing. Imagine them going to the beach.
Okay.
Every element is carefully considered and contributes to the overall picture. The quality of the beach towel, the style and practicality of the bag, the design of their swimwear, the choice of their loafers or sandals, it all perfectly coordinates and seamlessly fits the sophisticated beach setting.
Wow, that's detailed.
It is. This level of detail confirms that there are genuinely different types of pants, a variety of shirts, an array of t-shirts, and numerous other garments and accessories, all specifically chosen and curated for particular settings and social engagements.
Yeah. So the goal is perfect appropriateness.
Always. The overarching goal is always to fit the setting perfectly and effortlessly at all times. This not only indicates the financial capacity to own such a diverse and specialized wardrobe, but also signals a high degree of social intelligence, an inherent understanding of decorum, and an appreciation for appropriateness.
It implies a very curated life.
A thoroughly curated life, yes, where every single detail serves a deliberate purpose, reflecting a conscious and sustained effort to present oneself appropriately, tastefully, and with an air of understated command, rather than merely making an ostentatious display.
It truly isn't about owning the most expensive item, is it? It's about possessing and knowing when to use the right item for the precise moment. This makes me wonder, how often do you consciously consider the subtle message your accessories or your entire presentation send about your awareness, your preparedness, and your respect for a given situation? It's a fascinating, almost unspoken layer of communication. Now let's shift gears quite significantly. We've explored the external presentation of wealth, but now we'll delve into the inner workings, the mindset and fundamental habits that distinguish the truly wealthy. Our first point here is a profound one. They spend money to save time. For them, time is unequivocally the ultimate luxury, and this philosophy fundamentally dictates and drives their spending habits.
Yes, this is perhaps one of the most fundamental differentiators in the wealthy mindset. You'll often observe individuals who will drive 30 minutes across a busy city just to save, say, $5 on gas or groceries.
Right, spending time to save a little cash.
Exactly. That's a classic, everyday example of consciously spending time in an effort to save money. For the truly wealthy, the equation is almost always the exact opposite. While taking a private jet to a meeting across the country or opting for a helicopter transfer from the airport to the city center are obvious, large-scale examples.
The really flashy stuff.
Right, the flashy stuff. But the crucial insight is that this type of thinking truly transpires into everyday actions. It's not just about grand gestures. The biggest, most profound, and consistently observable difference between a truly rich person and someone who isn't is how they actively choose to prioritize and utilize their time.
So it affects everything they do.
Constantly. This overarching philosophy profoundly dictates countless daily decisions, from their choice of transportation to the types of services they utilize, and even the seemingly minor conveniences they pay for. They will consistently pay for efficiency, for speed, and for anything that can effectively free up their precious, non-renewable time.
It's not just about laziness, then.
Not at all. It isn't merely about avoiding mundane tasks, though that is often a pleasant side effect. More deeply, it's about a highly strategic and disciplined approach to life, where efficiency, productivity, and the leveraging of time for more impactful pursuits are absolutely paramount.
Like what kind of pursuits?
While time freed up from routine tasks can then be meticulously allocated to more significant business ventures, crucial relationship building, maintaining their health and well-being, cherishing family moments, or frankly, generating even greater wealth.
Strategic allocation.
For them, it's a constant, almost subconscious calculation of opportunity cost. And without fail, time consistently comes out as the most valuable commodity.
That is a powerful reframe, isn't it? If you started consistently viewing time as your single most precious commodity, far more valuable than mere money, how would your spending habits, your daily choices, and even your long-term priorities fundamentally change? It truly forces you to critically reevaluate every minute of your day. Our next insight into the wealthy mindset is equally revealing. They never look at price tags. This isn't about arrogance or being deliberately ignorant of cost. Rather, it speaks to a profound level of financial comfort and security where the cost of most items simply isn't a primary consideration for their purchasing decisions.
It might sound simplistic, but there's a subtle yet profound nuance to this behavior, stemming from their deeply ingrained way of thinking about spending money. When truly wealthy individuals dine at a high-end restaurant, for instance, they very rarely even glance at the price column on the menu.
Just,
Pretty much. Instead, they'll often engage with the waiter, perhaps asking about the day's special or what the chef particularly recommends. They order based on what they are truly craving, what sounds most appealing or intriguing, rather than making a choice influenced by its cost.
oh, okay.
Through our observations and interactions with genuinely rich individuals, we've pinpointed a particular unspoken rule some of them adhere to when considering any purchase.
What's the rule?
If you have to consciously think about whether you can comfortably afford it or not, you probably can't genuinely afford it without some form of financial strain or second guessing.
Huh. If you have to ask, you can't afford it. Kind of like that.
Exactly like that. Think about it using a simple, relatable analogy. When you're in a supermarket checkout line and you impulsively grab a pack of Tic Tacs or a stick of gum, you never pause to debate whether you can afford it. You just buy it.
Right, it's automatic.
For the truly wealthy, this mindset, this profound freedom from financial scrutiny and the need to budget for such items, applies to virtually everything else in their lives. Imagine being in such a financially secure position that you could look at acquiring a new car, a piece of artwork, or even a significant property with the same nonchalance and certainty you'd apply to buying that pack of gum.
Wow, that's a different world.
It demonstrates a deep psychological freedom from financial anxiety, allowing their decisions to be based purely on genuine desire, current need, or intrinsic value, rather than being constrained by budget limitations. It speaks to an unparalleled level of financial security where both basic needs and desired wants are easily met without a second thought or a moment of hesitation.
Imagine for a moment approaching the majority of your daily purchases with that gum mentality. It's certainly a profound goal for many, but it fundamentally reshapes how you interact with commerce, how you make choices, and ultimately how you experience life, doesn't it? It represents a truly remarkable and liberating state of being. Our next crucial observation, number 6, is that they never complain about money. A key differentiator for the truly wealthy is the striking, consistent absence of public financial grievances or anxieties.
This is a consistent and very telling pattern. You will simply never hear genuinely wealthy people openly discussing their bills, lamenting unforeseen expenses, or expressing anxiety about how they're going to meet their financial obligations for the month.
They keep it private.
Very private. This behavior is often deeply ingrained, particularly for those who grew up in affluent families, where maintaining an unwavering image of financial stability is seen as absolutely crucial for their social position, family reputation, and broader influence.
So it's partly about image.
Partly, but it goes far beyond merely saving face. The underlying principle at play here is a powerful one. People who frequently complain about money are usually fundamentally not adept at managing it. Think about acquaintances or friends you might know who constantly vocalize their financial struggles, yet they rarely seize opportunities to increase their income, or they quickly spend what they do acquire on the most superficial or immediate gratification rather than investing or saving strategically.
Right, the actions don't match the complaints.
Exactly. Our observations provide some vivid illustrations of this disconnect. Don't be the person with a $1,000 designer purse but no actual cash inside of it, or the individual with an expensive $500 tattoo who then has to borrow money for everyday necessities.
Oof, yeah.
These examples highlight a profound disconnect between outward appearance and actual financial health and discipline. And there's an intriguing analogy about the accessories they carry.
Oh.
The size of a person's bag or the number of items they feel they need to physically carry is often an inverse proportion to their true wealth or importance.
Really, smaller bag equals more wealth.
Often, yes.
Yeah.
Truly rich people don't often need to carry everything with them at all times because they have the resources, the support systems, and the infrastructure to handle things remotely, have them delivered, or have an assistant manage the details.
I see. Less baggage, literally.
Precisely. This subtle signal reflects not just ample funds, but also a deep level of financial competence, a pervasive sense of control over their resources, and a focus on proactive solutions rather than public grievances. It maintains an image of composure, stability, and quiet confidence.
Which projects competence.
Exactly, showcasing a fundamental understanding of sophisticated financial management and an internal locus of control.
That truly makes one reflect on our own financial dialogue. Think about your conversations about money. Are you primarily articulating complaints about financial pressures, or are you actively engaging in problem solving and strategic thinking? This subtle yet profound shift in personal dialogue can reveal an immense amount about one's fundamental financial mindset, irrespective of their current net worth. Next up, a profoundly human observation. The wealthy value experiences over things. For them, indulging in moments, creating lasting memories, and pursuing personal growth is paramount. The truly wealthy consistently prioritize unique experiences and personal enrichment over merely accumulating more material possessions, which, let's be honest, they can always acquire with effortless ease.
Absolutely. When you already possess significant financial resources, the ability to simply buy more stuff is no longer a challenge or a primary source of fulfillment. That's precisely why truly wealthy individuals are interested in something inherently different.
Something more meaningful.
Far more enriching and meaningful, yes. They tend to deeply engage with other people, seeking genuine connections and meaningful conversations. Interestingly, they often prefer wholesome, home-cooked meals shared with loved ones over the ostentatious displays of excessively fancy restaurants.
They save those for certain occasions.
Exactly, reserving the latter for specific business or social occasions. Above all, they absolutely love traveling to new and exotic places, immersing themselves in diverse cultures, and trying novel things that broaden their horizons. Consider this thought experiment and be honest with yourself. What would make you happier right now, spending 4 days completely unplugged on the other side of the world in a remote, culturally rich village, or owning a brand new, top-of-the-line laptop with all the latest features?
That's a tough one for many people. The laptop seems more practical long term.
And that's the point. For the vast majority of the global population, it's a genuinely difficult choice, and many would logically pick the laptop. Their reasoning is sound. The 4 days in the village would quickly pass, becoming a memory, while that laptop would provide utility, productivity, and entertainment for years to come.
Right.
This, right here, is one of the biggest distinctions between truly wealthy people and everyone else. They can afford to indulge fully in a fleeting, passing moment precisely because buying a new laptop is a trivial, easily accomplished task for them.
The cost isn't the issue.
Not for the item itself. The real challenge, the true luxury they seek and can overcome, is orchestrating the logistics of taking 6 days off, arranging complex flights, securing unique accommodations, and fully immersing themselves in an experience. They have the resources and the flexibility to overcome that challenge.
So the experience is the scarce resource for them.
In many ways, yes. This profound value for experiences over mere material possessions is often not an accidental preference. It's frequently the direct result of a specific kind of education, highlighting what truly rich people consistently teach their children from a very young age: a pervasive focus on growth, connection, personal enrichment, and the creation of lasting, meaningful memories, rather than just accumulating objects.
It's about a richer life, not just richer finances.
Exactly. This mindset speaks to a fulfillment that goes far beyond simple consumerism, where personal enrichment, deep connections, and unique, authentic adventures are seen as the ultimate reward of wealth, leading to a truly full, diverse, and deeply satisfying life. This insight isn't just about what you can financially afford, is it? It's a powerful reflection of what you truly value at your core. When you honestly reflect, is your deepest satisfaction found in a new gadget or in a memory that genuinely lasts a lifetime? It's a profound question about the true meaning and deployment of abundance. Let's transition now to the social and deeply private dimensions of wealth, starting with a powerful, somewhat counterintuitive idea. They value privacy over fame. For the vast majority of the truly wealthy, anonymity, personal discretion, and robust security are exponentially more valuable than widespread public recognition or celebrity status.
Yes, this point is indeed massively counterintuitive for many, primarily because most of the rich people you know or hear about, the celebrities, the tech moguls, the public figures, became wealthy, or at least famous, in the process of entering the public eye.
Right, they're the ones we see.
Exactly. However, it's vital to understand that these highly visible individuals actually make up less than 3% of the entire rich class. Everybody else, the vast 97%, are quietly, discreetly, and privately going about their business. 97% are basically invisible.
Largely, yes. They actively seek seclusion precisely because attention, particularly pervasive public attention, comes with a host of significant, often debilitating drawbacks. Once you achieve widespread fame, you instantly become a target. Your family becomes a target, and suddenly everyone, from strangers to distant relatives, feels entitled to things from you.
Money, time, connections.
Be it money, time, or influence, yes. Here's a deeper way to conceptualize it. The more famous you become, the less you genuinely own yourself. At a certain threshold, you begin to belong to the machine, to the insatiable demands of the public, to the fans, to the media system.
Which is the opposite of freedom.
Ironically, yes. It's the exact opposite of what true wealth should fundamentally buy you, which is genuine freedom and autonomy. This is precisely why you sometimes encounter incredibly successful people who, despite their public accolades, are utterly miserable in their private lives. Anthony Bourdain and Kate Spade, for example, are both tragic illustrations of highly successful individuals who wrestled profoundly with the immense pressures, expectations, and lack of privacy that inevitably came with their public lives.
That's incredibly sad.
It is. On the flip side of this equation, there's a profound and growing interest among the wealthy in actively buying and investing in security. Privacy is increasingly seen not as a basic right to be taken for granted, but as a premium luxury good.
Like a commodity.
Much like a private jet or a bespoke suit, yes. We even hear about a significant increase in demand for advanced home security systems, including fortified safe rooms or panic rooms, in the homes of wealthy individuals, underscoring this deep-seated need for personal sanctuary and protection.
Wow, panic rooms.
It reveals a sophisticated understanding of the practical and psychological costs of public life, leading to proactive, often substantial, measures to protect their personal space, their loved ones, and their invaluable sense of security. It profoundly highlights the true, often underestimated, value of autonomy and absolute control over one's personal sphere.
In our current age of constant sharing, ubiquitous social media, and the pervasive search for external validation, this is an incredibly powerful and sobering reminder. It makes you ask, how much of your personal freedom are you truly willing to trade for attention, for likes, for visibility? What's the true, often hidden, and deeply personal cost of being constantly seen and judged? It really forces you to think differently about success. Closely related to the value of privacy is our next point. They're private about their finances. Truly wealthy people simply do not boast about their money. Instead, their complex financial discussions and management are almost invariably handled by dedicated professionals.
You'll find that genuinely wealthy people very rarely, if ever, show off their net worth or boast about how much money they have to others. Making a significant deal about being rich is often a clear indication that someone is looking for external validation.
They need people to know.
A need to be seen, to be acknowledged for their wealth, yes. In contrast, truly rich people already possess that validation internally. Their sense of worth and security is self-contained and doesn't require external accolades or public affirmation of their financial status.
So how do they talk about it, if at all?
You'll frequently hear them use phrases that subtly reinforce this delegation and discretion, such as, "Oh, I don't care about that stuff. The family lawyer handles all those details," or "My financial advisor takes care of all those complexities. It's his domain."
They deflect to the professionals.
Exactly. When it comes to individuals and families of significant wealth, it's standard practice for them to have a dedicated financial advisor or even an entire team of professionals on board. The sole job of these experts is to ensure the family's financial well-being, to meticulously manage their investment portfolio, and to handle all their assets with precision and foresight.
This is just practical management.
It's a pragmatic, highly efficient, and strategic approach to managing vast resources effectively. It reinforces the earlier idea that privacy, in this information-saturated era, is arguably the biggest, most coveted luxury of our generation. Their behavior stems from an inner security, a profound sense of self-possession, and a highly pragmatic approach to managing vast assets, delegating complex tasks to specialists rather than using their wealth for public display or personal boasting. Their confidence, their worth, and their security are intrinsically internal.
So when you see someone overtly flaunting their wealth, what does that truly tell you about their security and their underlying needs for external validation? This insight profoundly shifts our perception of what rich genuinely means and how that reality is truly lived, often in quiet confidence. This next point is a truly fascinating, almost secret signal, often invisible to the uninitiated. the color and weight of your credit card. In certain high-end establishments, the physical attributes of a credit card can serve as a subtle yet remarkably powerful indicator of significant wealth and established status.
Right. This is a nuance that the average person will likely never even realize exists, but hotels, exclusive resorts, high-end restaurants, and any type of luxury service establishment are absolutely and very silently judging a book by its cover.
And the card is the cover.
In this specific context, you are metaphorically the book, and the color and distinct weight of your credit card function as the cover. Banks don't issue cards of different weights and colors arbitrarily. They do so specifically according to a client's financial profile and the prestige associated with their account.
So heavier means more.
Totally, yes. The highest tier cards are typically crafted from metal, giving them a distinct, reassuring heft, and they invariably sport sophisticated colors like black, gold, or platinum. These are not just aesthetic choices, they are silent, universally recognized signals within the luxury service industry.
Wow, a secret code.
Pretty much. Furthermore, these establishments will also, very subtly and silently, assess you based on what you order from the menu or how you conduct yourself, adding another layer to their quiet judgment. This phenomenon highlights a hidden social code that operates within luxury service industries, where these seemingly minor cues, such as a card's physical appearance, are instantly recognized as markers of significant purchasing power, established client value, and often a certain level of expected service.
It's a silent language of privilege.
A silent language, exactly, that allows these establishments to quickly identify and cater to their most valuable and discerning patrons with a heightened level of attention and customized service.
That secret handshake idea is incredibly revealing, isn't it? It truly makes you wonder what other subtle, unspoken cues or invisible social codes exist in different high-stakes social or business environments that you might be overlooking in your daily interactions. But thinking about today, in a world where digital payments are increasingly common and even high-net-worth individuals might simply tap their phone for transactions, how enduring are these physical cues? Is there a risk of establishments misjudging someone based solely on a physical card?
That's a very astute question, and it speaks to the dynamic nature of these subtle signals. While digital payments are indeed prevalent, the physical card still holds sway in very specific, highly curated luxury contexts.
Like where?
Particularly where a transaction involves a face-to-face interaction and a certain performative element of service. Think of concierge at a five-star hotel or a maître d' at an exclusive restaurant. They are trained to observe. While a phone tap is convenient, the act of presenting a weighty metal card still carries a certain gravitas and immediately communicates a client's status and potential value in a way that a generic digital transaction might not.
So the physical act still matters in some places.
It still serves a purpose in those specific high-touch environments, though perhaps in fewer contexts than before. It also reinforces the idea of discretion. A prestigious card is a private signal, whereas a highly visible digital payment system might be seen as less refined.
Fascinating how those underlying human tendencies and social dynamics persist, even with technological shifts. Our next insight into the social dimension of wealth is that they possess exceptional social grace. Truly wealthy individuals demonstrate highly cultivated social skills, allowing them to navigate and connect effortlessly and genuinely in virtually any setting they encounter.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever noticed certain individuals who just seem to seamlessly integrate into any social gathering? They appear to float through a room, engaging effortlessly with everyone, initiating conversations, and asking incredibly insightful questions.
Yeah, they make it look easy.
Exactly. And the questions are not always just polite inquiries, but often deeply engaging and thought-provoking. People genuinely love being around them, often feeling drawn to their ease and confidence. This isn't merely a pleasant personality trait or innate charisma, it's a strategically honed skill. Because social skills are fundamentally incredibly important when it comes to not only climbing, but crucially maintaining your position within sophisticated social and professional hierarchies.
So your network is your net worth. Really applies.
It truly rings profoundly true here for them. This highly intentional approach to social interaction and relationship building is often very different from the education many middle-class individuals receive, where academic achievement often takes precedence over interpersonal mastery.
Let's focus on networking skills.
Right. You rarely see lower-income families proactively prioritize networking as a core skill because they may not immediately perceive the tangible long-term value in it beyond immediate needs. For the wealthy, however, it's a deeply cultivated skill, often learned from a very young age through exposure and mentorship,
It's taught, almost.
and it's intrinsically understood as a strategic asset for influence and opportunity. Think of it as mastering the art of active listening, asking genuinely insightful follow-up questions, and consistently remembering key details about people and their interests. This careful cultivation builds profound, genuine rapport, opening doors to collaborations, partnerships, and critical insights that money alone simply cannot buy.
So connections are key.
Absolutely. Moreover, there are some truly exclusive places and very specific social circles where you simply can't gain entry or truly thrive alone. The wealthy society understands the immense power of sticking together, leveraging their collective networks, and fostering a sense of mutual support and access. This social grace isn't just about being charming, it's about strategic engagement, building and maintaining influence, access, and opportunities, thereby truly facilitating the expansion of one's social and professional capital.
This isn't just about being charming or simply polite. It's about strategic engagement and a profound understanding of the power of genuine connection. It challenges us to think. How could you consciously cultivate your own social grace to build stronger, more meaningful connections and open new, perhaps unexpected doors in your own life? It's a skill with immeasurable returns, both personal and professional. Let's move into our final section, focusing on the strategic and inherited aspects of wealth, starting with a crucial intellectual asset. They understand financial and legal lingo. Wealthy individuals possess a foundational, practical understanding of complex financial and legal terminology, not primarily from academic study, but from personal experience and sheer ongoing necessity.
Exactly. They haven't just read about these concepts in books. They've had a crash course on virtually everything financial and legal through their own direct personal experiences.
Learned on the job, so to speak.
Very much so. This isn't theoretical knowledge from a textbook. It's deeply practical and immediately applicable. They've had to sit down with their lawyers to meticulously understand the intricate workings of a trust, to grasp the implications of inheritance laws, to comprehend how the family business is structured and run, and to internalize the fundamental rules of finance that govern their assets.
They speak the language.
They effectively speak money, a complex, specialized language that the general population often doesn't grasp and sometimes doesn't even realize they need to grasp. This profound financial and legal literacy proves incredibly advantageous when they're interacting with bankers, wealth managers, or when their legal counsel is offering critical advice.
And the downside of not knowing.
Well, in stark contrast, most people unfortunately never bother to learn this essential lingo and, as a consequence, often find themselves in precarious or disadvantageous situations where they don't truly understand the commitments they're making, what they're actually signing, or the long-term implications of their financial decisions.
Can you give some examples of this lingo?
Sure. We're talking about understanding how to critically read and interpret a profit and loss statement, grasping terms like operating cash flow, which represents the real liquid engine of a business, distinct from mere reported profits. It's knowing the strategic difference between a trust fund, often meticulously structured for long-term generational wealth protection, and a hedge fund, which is a more aggressive, specialized investment vehicle. It's about comprehending current liabilities versus non-current liabilities, or accurately distinguishing between the risk profiles and returns of bonds versus stocks.
So real practical stuff for managing wealth.
Absolutely critical. If you genuinely aspire to build significant wealth and, just as importantly, protect it for the long term, you absolutely need to start learning and fluently speaking this language. This observation highlights a powerful truth. If you intend to play the game effectively, you must intimately know and understand the rules. It's practical literacy essential for managing and protecting assets, making informed decisions, and interacting confidently with advisors.
This truly highlights a powerful truth. If you want to play the game effectively, you need to intimately know the rules. It makes you ask, how much financial and legal literacy could you strategically gain to better navigate your own economic future, protect what you're meticulously building, and ensure its longevity? It's a critical ongoing investment in yourself. Next, a truly subtle, often missed, yet incredibly telling sign, particularly of old money or royal lineage. They frequently have the family crest embroidered or embossed on their personal items. It's a quiet, enduring nod to their lineage and heritage.
This is undoubtedly one of the more subtle distinctions, something that almost everyone outside of these circles will miss entirely, yet it's quite common among the truly wealthy, especially those who hail from established old money or historical royal families.
It's an old money signal.
Often, yes. Think of it as a sophisticated progression of status symbols. An entry-level status symbol for some might be a monogram shirt, but this subtly evolves into having custom-tailored, bespoke pieces of clothing or personal items where the family crest or insignia is discreetly and tastefully integrated.
Any famous examples?
While you'll see prominent examples like King Charles III consistently sporting a signet ring adorned with his family crest. The emirs of Saudi Arabia often have their specific crest subtly incorporated into their garments, usually in very understated places, almost hidden from plain view but visible to those who know to look. This even extends to personalized initials or a family crest, meticulously embroidered onto items like bed sheets and pillows, transforming everyday objects into symbols of heritage.
So it's not about showing off the wealth itself.
No, not primarily. These are not overt, flashy displays of wealth designed to impress. Instead, these subtle, often intimate reminders are absolutely key to reinforcing their identity, the profound connection to history, and an ingrained sense of belonging to a significant legacy. They serve as constant, quiet cues that reinforce the expectation that they need to behave in a certain dignified way, upholding family honor, tradition, and the long-standing reputation associated with their lineage.
It's about responsibility almost.
It's a continuous personal reinforcement of who they are, where they come from, and the weight of generations of heritage, coupled with a deep-seated expectation of exemplary conduct. It's a powerful and private anchor to their past, shaping their present.
This goes far deeper than mere personal style or brand loyalty, doesn't it? It's about a profound, almost spiritual connection to history, tradition, and a weighty set of expectations. It makes you reflect. What traditions or legacies, however subtle or personal, influence your daily actions, your identity, and your sense of purpose? It's a truly fascinating look into the enduring power of heritage. Our next point dives into the strategic investment in global communication. They often speak a language that's not in their family background. Beyond mere necessity, the wealthy frequently learn additional languages as a calculated strategic investment in future global opportunities, expanded influence, and enhanced negotiation capabilities.
Right. While a significant portion of the global population is inherently bilingual, out of practical necessity, perhaps speaking a heritage language at home and English for education and commerce, the truly wealthy often go significantly beyond that.
They learn extra languages. Why?
It's remarkably common for them to proactively learn distinct languages that they believe might serve as strategic negotiating tools or open doors to new markets and cultures in the future. This is a deliberate, long-term investment in their global outlook and adaptability. You might be quite surprised, for instance, how many children from affluent families are now picking up Chinese or Arabic as their third or even fourth language.
Chinese and Arabic specifically.
Those are common now, yes. Their parents often view this as a direct, tangible investment in their child's future global competitiveness, understanding intuitively that global economic and political trends naturally shift with the markets. 40 or 50 years ago, the secondary strategic languages for business might have been German or Russian, reflecting the geopolitical and economic landscapes of that era.
So the popular languages change.
They change with the markets. Today, however, the most widely recognized and valuable languages to learn are consistently identified as English, Chinese, and Spanish, given their global reach and economic impact. While some might suggest Hindi as a potential fourth option, India has very rapidly embraced English as its primary business language, so while beneficial, it might not offer the same strategic advantage as, say, Chinese in certain markets.
What's the underlying principle?
The broader overarching principle here is a practical one. Depending on the specific industry you're developing expertise in or the markets you're engaging with, it can be incredibly advantageous, almost essential, to learn both the language of your key suppliers and, crucially, that of your core customers.
Speak the language of business, literally.
Exactly. This proactive, long-term approach to language acquisition reflects a profoundly global perspective on business, influence, and interconnectedness. It's a strategic investment in cultural capital, fostering deeper understanding and building invaluable future economic leverage, thoroughly preparing them for an increasingly interconnected and complex world.
This isn't just about the convenience of travel or cultural appreciation, is it? It's fundamentally about power, influence, and connection in a globalized world. It begs the question, what languages could you strategically learn to expand your own horizons, deepen your understanding of global markets, and potentially open new, powerful opportunities for yourself? Our final point in this section is a poignant one, revealing a profound human truth. They work not because they have to, but for the experience and a deeper sense of purpose. For the truly wealthy, Work transcends mere financial necessity, becoming primarily a pursuit of personal growth, meaningful connection, and a vital form of self-validation.
Hmm. You could almost rephrase their motivation by saying they're primarily doing it for the experience itself. Money, for them, simply isn't the primary driving force behind their professional
So
engagements.
they'd work even if they didn't need the paycheck.
Often, yes. Interestingly, many wealthy individuals have absolutely no problem with undertaking unpaid internships, particularly if those internships are within the right prestigious companies. This is largely because their parents actively encourage them to build crucial connections and gain invaluable experience within influential networks.
Connections again.
Connections are always key. Because of their prominent family name and background, they're typically treated with a baseline level of respect. However, it's also a common truth that they're often not taken seriously in a substantive way by their colleagues or superiors.
Yeah, not.
They frequently find themselves assigned to what often amounts to fluff work tasks that are supportive but don't involve genuine heavy lifting or critical decision making, essentially supporting the people who are actually driving the core business. This experience often leads them to feel quite frustrated, and as a direct consequence, they develop a massive, almost burning urge to prove themselves, to demonstrate their own inherent capabilities, and make a tangible mark.
They want to show they're capable on their own merit.
Exactly. However, the reality of their professional journey isn't always as glamorous or straightforward as it might appear in popular culture. It usually doesn't unfold precisely the way they initially expect. They might embark on superficial entrepreneurial ventures, perhaps launching a clothing line, a jewelry brand, an event planning business, or even flower arrangements.
Trying to start their own thing.
Yes, but despite their inherent connections, vast resources, and sometimes significant seed capital, these businesses often fail relatively quickly. This is frequently because, frankly, they lack the deep drive, the tenacious hunger, and the visceral necessity that often fuels genuinely successful entrepreneurs who are building from the ground up.
They don't have that same fire.
Often not. Instead, what commonly happens is a natural progression. They eventually end up following in their parents' footsteps, joining a division or part of the family company. Here, they are placed under the careful tutelage of that parent or a trusted family mentor, being meticulously groomed and prepared to eventually take over the business when the time comes, ensuring the continuation of the family legacy.
So they end up in the family business.
Very often. This complex dynamic reveals a profound search for purpose, identity, and personal contribution, often played out within the immense shadow of inherited privilege. While largely free from the pressing anxieties of financial pressure, they paradoxically face unique challenges in establishing their own merit, proving their worth, and making a truly meaningful, self-directed contribution to the world.
This raises a truly profound, almost philosophical question for all of us. If you were entirely free from the necessity of working for financial survival, what would you genuinely choose to pursue? What does this complex dynamic reveal about the fundamental human need for purpose, contribution, and self-actualization, even when financial wealth is already abundant beyond measure? And now, for a bonus sign, something that might genuinely surprise you. Many truly wealthy individuals often lack generic, everyday practical skills. This is largely because throughout their lives, they've always had others readily available and paid to handle these tasks for them.
Right. To a significant degree, many truly wealthy individuals are quite disconnected from the practical realities of the everyday world that most of us inhabit.
Like, what kind of skills are missing?
Oh, they often have absolutely no idea how to fill out a complex application form, possess zero practical skills when it comes to fixing common household items, can barely drive a car, and have little to no concept of how much basic cleaning products cost, or even how to cook a simple meal from scratch.
Wow. So basic life skills.
Essentially, yes. It's simply not something they have ever had to learn or do themselves. They have consistently outsourced all of these tasks. But what's particularly fascinating about this bonus point is how this outsourcing trend, once almost exclusive to the ultra-rich, is now steadily bleeding into the broader masses.
How?
Largely due to technological advancements. Think about it. Most people now live on services like Uber Eats, DoorDash, or similar delivery apps for their meals. They navigate their cities using ride-sharing services like Uber or Lyft, and even basic household tasks such as cleaning and maintenance are increasingly outsourced by a much broader segment of the population, often through apps and on-demand services.
So we're all outsourcing more.
Increasingly, yes. While for the wealthy, this reliance simply points to a life of sheer convenience and an extensive network of external services, it also subtly highlights a potential vulnerability in terms of self-sufficiency and practical autonomy. For the rest of society, it powerfully illustrates how technological advancements are rapidly shifting our collective skill sets and daily habits, making these once luxury conveniences readily available and often indispensable to many more people. We are all, in a way, becoming accustomed to outsourcing fundamental life skills.
How much are you outsourcing in your own life? Are we, as a society, slowly, perhaps unconsciously, losing essential life skills in the relentless pursuit of convenience, thereby blurring the lines between the haves and the have-nots in entirely unexpected ways? It's a question worth deeply pondering, as it speaks to a changing societal fabric.
Mm.
Before we wrap up our deep dive, we have a golden nugget for you. A powerful, almost universal recipe for success that emerges directly from observing the patterns and strategies of the truly wealthy.
Yes, this is a profound and consistently observed insight into wealth creation, a blueprint for entrepreneurial success. The quickest, most effective way to become genuinely rich is to identify a luxury or exclusive service that has historically been reserved exclusively for the wealthy, and then find an innovative way to make it available, accessible, and affordable to the masses.
Take luxury and make it mainstream.
Exactly. Let's think about this with a few illustrative examples. Back in the day, only truly rich people could afford the luxury of having a personal chauffeur to drive them wherever they needed to go.
Right, very exclusive.
Now, virtually everybody can hail an Uber with a tap on their phone. That democratization of a luxury service is precisely why Uber is valued at over $70 billion.
Okay, that's a great example.
Or consider this. Not so long ago, only rich people had the privilege of owning a beautiful beach house for their getaways. Now, thanks to platforms like Airbnb, you can rent one for as little as $100 a night, making luxury travel accessible. That's why Airbnb commands a market valuation of over $40 billion.
Democratizing the beach house.
Precisely. Here's another powerful illustration. Back in the day, only rich people could afford the latest high-fashion designs fresh off the runway, often costing thousands of dollars. Now, you can walk into a store like Zara and purchase incredibly stylish runway look-alike pieces for under $50,
Fast fashion.
making high-fashion trends accessible to a broad consumer base. That's precisely why Amancio Ortega, the visionary founder of Inditex, Zara's parent company, is worth an astounding $80 billion.
Wow, so what's the core idea?
The core principle underpinning all these successes is that, as we discussed earlier, time is the ultimate luxury. Any business, product, or service that can genuinely and efficiently save the average person time is inherently perceived as a luxury business,
Saving time equals luxury.
and one that possesses immense potential to be translated into a widely accessible, highly scalable product or service. This isn't just a simple business model, it's a profound insight into fundamental human desire and the scaling of value. It emphasizes understanding what people truly value, which, more often than not, is convenience, efficiency, and time saving, and then democratizing access to it in an innovative way.
This is more than just a clever business tip. It's a powerful, almost predictive lens through which to view innovation and identify vast unmet needs in the market. It makes you contemplate. What luxuries could you identify in your own life or keenly observe in the lives of others that, if made accessible and affordable, could create immense value, solve widespread problems, and even profoundly transform an entire industry? It's about finding those points of friction and ingeniously smoothing them out for the many. We've truly peeled back so many layers today, moving far beyond the obvious to uncover the subtle yet incredibly potent signals of true wealth. It's a world defined by discretion, strategic decision-making, and often a quiet, deep-seated confidence that simply doesn't require any external validation. Perhaps the real enduring measure of wealth isn't what you conspicuously show off to the world, but rather what you consciously choose to keep private, what you strategically invest in beyond mere material things, and how profoundly you value and leverage your precious time. How will these powerful insights change the way you observe the world around you, and even the way you personally define success for yourself going forward? Thanks for watching this. See you in the next episode. Like, subscribe, and share.